Hey, so at home with Cynthia and Maria. So Cynthia's not here. Obviously, I'm in the car by myself. But I want to start off. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a doctor or anything like that. A psychologist, anything. Everything is just opinions on this show, and just obviously people speak from their experience and their experience talking to other people, but this is just referencing in my own words and my own opinions. So that being said, not an attorney. You need an attorney, call one. You need a doctor, call one. You need a psychiatrist, call one. So I have a friend, and just in general, in speaking to a couple of women, but in particularly this one, she has a criminal and a family restraining order. Now, her criminal one is extended till next year, but her family one was just rejected. So I want to kind of give people some hints about what to do, whatever state you're in Arizona, you're in Florida, it doesn't matter. All over, it's common sense. And sometimes when people are caught up in the fear, if you're really being abused. So I'm talking about if you've been physically choked, hit, punched, whatever you've been. If you have people who have witnessed it, make sure that they come with affidavits or to court with you, but you have to file papers immediately. There was a circumstance where now the person has a criminal one still in place, 100-yard stay away, and she has it till, like a year from now. But the thing is that something happened just months before, and you're going, okay, within the last 6 months, something happened. But that person took her to court, falsified claims. Obviously, the judge denied it because they were false claims, and there was evidence of that, video evidence. So the judge denied it. That's fine. But what happens is, because she didn't go to court and she didn't file papers right away, and you let time lapse, then they'll deny you. You can't do that. If something happens and you're afraid, if somebody comes at you with their car or threatens you or, comes towards your family or your children or whatever, you need to call the police right away. Okay. There are women that have been beaten. This particular case, he beat his first wife. She put it down in her papers, never called the cops. He was arrested in Dubai, 72 hours in jail, and that was for harassing a woman. So when people do these things, you have to be able to go into court if you feel threatened. Again, it has to be something that's real. It has to be something that has happened to you. I'm talking just in general, not about anybody in particular, but it's this woman that I spoke to. This is her story, and I'm sure it's one of many, 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 many stories out there. When you feel threatened or abused, you need to call the cops. You need to go into court and file papers. If you do not, your claims, somebody can hit you today, be afraid you're going to go to the court and get a restraining order. So they go in, make false claims against you. Now, those claims obviously will be found out if they're true or not. Will be denied if they're not true. But then by the time if you didn't call the cops immediately, by the time you do, they'll say, well, in the last 3 months, you haven't gotten hit, so. Or in the last 3 months, you don't feel, or the last 6 months, you don't feel scared, nothing really happened to you. 6 months ago, somebody can come at you with a car or to scare you, or call your house when they have, this one had two restraining orders, a family and a criminal one. And they can call your house, right? And you can prove that they called your house while they had a restraining order, and nothing will happen to them unless you do what you're supposed to do. Do not contact people who have abused you. Do not go after them, because then you're not really afraid of them. If you contact them, then there's no real fear. If you're chasing them down or looking into their social media, there's no real fear. Don't do that. I mean, if somebody's abusing you, you need to contact the cops immediately. Do not wait. File papers. Go to the YWCA. Protect yourself. Protect your children. Whether you're a man or a woman, it's not just for women, because men get abused too. What's scary is if you don't do it, you're going to be harming other people that they're going to be with, because somebody has to take a stand and say, I'm not going to be abused again. So, again, I'm only talking about from what I've heard from other people. I don't know these facts to be true, but if we're going to assume that they are true, then you need to protect yourself. If you're being abused, call the police or anything else. Okay? I can't tell you enough. Whether you're in Florida, whether you're in Arizona, whether you're in New York, wherever you are, Las Vegas, wherever you are, call the cops. Man or woman. It happens both ways. Because she feels okay because she's got her criminal restraining order protecting her still. But the fact that, she lost her family one was because she didn't go back in. She was too tired that day. And she said that she just was exhausted from the fight, and she just didn't go. And it harmed her because she didn't make that report. And by the time that report was falsely claimed by the ex, then by the time she addressed it, it was too late. So you really need to think about what your, intentions are. Are your intentions to stay safe, your children safe, be in a neighborhood where you're happy, sleep well at night if you know that you're not making false claims against somebody. I'm not going to say this enough. The people who make false claims are only hurting the people who are really abused. So please don't. If you're angry at somebody, you feel a little scorned, or you're jealous, get out of the relationship. It's not for you. There'll be somebody who will love you. But if you really do have true claims, this woman was beat up every time her ex cheated. She was, punched, dragged, the children were involved. The ex, by what she's telling me, and I don't know this to be true, was involved with some other stuff in her family. So that was not good. I'm not going to get into it because she didn't give me permission for that. But, you have to be wise for yourself. Sleep well at night. Know you're telling the truth. So if you're telling the truth, you have nothing to fear. Go into court. Most judges are very respectful and will listen to you. Do not interrupt the judge. Many people do. I know her ex did. I know she did at some points, and it didn't go anywhere. Listen to the judges. They're going by the laws. It is what it is. Sometimes the laws protect you. Sometimes that there are a couple of cracks in the laws. So I'm telling you, so that you can make sure that there are no cracks in your case, make sure you file papers immediately. Not tomorrow, not the next day, immediately. Okay, well, listen, this is food for thought. This is only in my opinion. And again, as I said at the beginning, I am not a lawyer. I am not I don't have a law degree. I am just a person with an opinion. I'm not a doctor. If you are being physically harmed, if you feel you need mental help, if you have suicidal thoughts or anything like that, find a physician, find somebody to talk to, go to your primary, go speak to somebody about it. There's the YWCA for certain cases. They're really great. And they've helped some people. It's not for everybody, but for 90% of people, it does work, or just to have an initial place to go. It's called the YWCA or your local police. If you're a female and you feel more comfortable with females, ask for a female. If you're a male and you feel more comfortable with a male person, ask for a male. But find somebody you can talk to. It's so important. And file your papers immediately, even if you're tired. If it means that you're afraid for your life, that you're afraid once your restraining order comes around that this person will hurt you, maybe directly or indirectly, get help. Go to your local police, call an attorney, find out what your rights are. Most attorneys will talk to you, and it'll be a free consultation. So talk to somebody, but I think it's really important that you do. Okay. Mwah, mwah. So that's food for thought. This is Maria from Maria and Cynthia. And it's a beautiful day out. So I think I'm going to go out for a jog. I'm going to take my daughter with me. And that's it. Oh, another thing. My Pomeranian has a collapsed trachea. There's not much they can do for that. So the bark sounds like a duck. It's a very duck-like sound. And he's 12, so it happens with smaller breeds, usually Chihuahuas, Pomeranians, Papillons. The smaller breeds get it, and it happens as they get older. It's nothing to get scared of unless there's other issues going on. I'm not a vet, by the way, and I'm not going to claim to be a vet. But unless there's other issues going on, there's nothing really you can do. You can, their vets can put them on maybe something for the swelling or something for the irritation. It might lessen the bark if they're on certain medications. I'm not going to get into what medications are because for the dogs, because I'm not a vet. But ask your local vets if you do have a smaller breed about having trachea issues as they get older. So it's a collapsed trachea. It's a trachea cough. It's because of the collapsed trachea that they have this cough most of the time, and it sounds like a duck. It's probably uncomfortable for them, but otherwise, if your dog is eating, like mine is eating and drinking, the probability is just to make them comfortable with the cough. There are costly operations that the animal can have if they're younger and they have more time. So ask your vet. Again, I'm not a vet. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a doctor. Disclaimer. Okay. If you're being beat up, this person, I did say, beat their first wife up. And it was in the divorce papers. And was arrested for sexually harassing a woman in another country for 72 hours. So, you have to keep yourself safe and do not confront your ex. Do not have discussions with anybody who's associated with your ex. Do not follow your ex on social media. Do not, because then you're not really afraid. Unless, you have an attorney and there's like a reason for whatever you're doing. I'm not an attorney. I don't know. But do not, because you want your life back. Take your life back. Find somebody who loves you. Okay? Okay. So I'm going to actually give Cynthia a call, and we're probably going to do a podcast soon. So this was food for thought, and I just wanted to share that with you. Bye.